All right, good morning, folks. Hope you're doing well this morning. It's about 4 a.m. on the 16th of October, 2025. Happy Thursday. This is an overall water vapor loop of the tropical Atlantic. Lorenzo is no longer a tropical system, um, dissipated overnight. If we look here, it's probably generally right here. Um, So the tropical Atlantic for now is relatively quiet, and I think we may have a chance of one more storm with this tropical wave eventually moving into the Caribbean, um, and maybe developing in this area. The models are hinting at the possibility, and they have been for quite some time now. But given that it's 10 plus days off, I'm not going to talk about it much today. Um, as we get closer and we get better idea what the models are thinking, I'll talk about it some more. But I have a feeling this is going to be the last system we're going to see in the tropics. Although you never know, right? It's getting towards the end of where we'd see many develop. So, and this is a favorite area of climatology speaking here as well. So, climatology meaning overall conditions historically are favorable in these areas. All right. Excuse me. So, moving to the continental U.S. Satellite loop, water vapor. You can see the general flow here, right? And large, just high pressure with a northwest flow aloft here. Aloft meaning the mid levels, okay? Um, what's really cool about this, you can see the mountains and the flow over the mountains. These little ripples here. It's pretty cool. So, water vapor loop, the yellows and oranges are drier air, of course. And we have the attendant moisture streaming to the north here. Um, so we look at the infrared satellite showing convection. Um, here's your upper level feature here, and moisture streaming to the north. And we have this upper level low over Maine rotating around as well, bringing some rain there, maybe some snow. Have to see, but um, let's go to the upper level water vapor loop real quick. You have another upper level low down here in Mexico. Looks like it's getting pinched off though. Um, so this trough is forecast to swing up generally this way and up into Canada. Then another trough forecast to build in and go basically like this and push a cold front further south, with the potential for severe weather in this area. And that's what we're going to focus on today, the severe weather threat for the most part in current conditions. Little change from what we've focused on recently with the tropics. The tropics have been relatively active for the second part of the season. So that being said, let's move over to the radar. This is the radar, current radar. We just showed the satellite with the radar overlaid, so it's basically the same thing. Uh, yeah, so they got some snow going on up here in the northern tier as well, or North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado mountains, Utah, Idaho, Nevada. So, um, so in terms of severe weather, what are we looking at? We're gonna go through the outlooks here real quickly. Take this off. Marginal risk today, um, east of the Rockies, Nebraska, Wichita, parts of Colorado. General thunderstorms surrounding it with a 2% tornado risk, 5% wind hail risk, and 5% wind risk. For day two, that trough is swinging to the east here. So the wind risk, well, we have the overall categorical risk here, which is marginal. Less than 2% tornado risk tomorrow. 5% hail, 5% wind. So day three, this is where we have our threat here that we've been talking about. Uh, they whittled down the overall 15% chance risk here, but they also have a marginal risk further surrounding it. But we can't look at probabilities for tornadoes or anything else at day three. It's more of a general idea that it's going to be better than a 15% chance of severe weather in this general area here. Mostly centered in Arkansas, but I wouldn't be surprised to get some severe weather in these areas. There's a pretty wide area of marginal risk here. So hopefully there'll be a little more clarity um, on the severe mode, and there will be in the next 12 to 24 hours or so. So let's look at the overall flow pattern associated with this. There's your satellite loop again. This is your 500 millibar flow with the European model. This is Saturday, 18Z, which is roughly, my dryer is beeping at me, roughly 4 hours, 5 hours behind out here. So about 1 p.m. or so. You can almost make out a short wave right here moving through the flow. And now, whether or not the resolution on this model is good enough to depict that, I don't know, but you can see the dip right there. Anywhere you see those kind of features, you can see the change in direction right here. Makes me wonder if there might not be a little surface low that might develop in this area, right? Let's move it forward just a little bit, if I can. Um, so you can generally see the flow pattern here. You can almost make out, you can see the difference in the wind shift right here too, right? The general flow out of the west or west southwest or southwest. Okay, and general forcing there. So the highest flow here, at least on 500 millibar level, is on the backside. Although we have an enhanced flow on the north side, I mean this is most likely with the attendant moisture that's going to be present and the surface heating that's going to go on. That's your area of interest there. Step it back a little bit. You can see what I'm talking about there. That feature right there. it tries to dig down even more just before that. What I'm going to do is switch over the surface here. Oops. Um, the European model. All right. Go back a little bit. Saturday, 18Z. You can see almost a hint of a surface low right there, even though it's relatively weak, right? And even there, you see a hint of a nebulous surface feature. It may be convectively enhanced, but eventually you get a surface low move to the north here. As a trough lists further to the north, and you have a cold front moving through here. Okay. Sorry. You have the general flow up this way. Cold front moves this way. Um, okay. You can see what happens here. This line kind of fizzles out because it outruns the the forcing moves to the north, and it kind of outruns everything. And then you have another low develop here. Interestingly enough, so you have the low pressure here, and you have another surface low develop along the mid-Atlantic here. So I wonder if there might not be another severe threat up here on Monday when you have this much flow going this way. And we'll look at that real quick. Let's see what we got going on here at the mid levels. You see that there? Deepening here, almost taking on a negative tilt. Uh, Definitely worth watching here. And let's look at if we look at that, I know this is far out, but I think it's worth looking at. Um, let's see if we can look at the instability here related to this. Not a heck of a lot moving up into this area. Let me see if we can pull a sounding. Long photographs here. So let's look. Let's move forward just a little bit. I know I'm pulling this up on the fly, but let's move it back a little bit and see. Well, it's not really showing anything, but uh, you have some really long photographs here, even though they get kind of wonky. It's pretty much straight until you get way up there. But that's I think it's possible they may put a higher risk up here as it becomes more clear about the we get closer to this. Not a lot of instability, but we'll just have to see. And you can see when we look at the instability back here in this general area, not terribly high, but high enough for this time of year to drive thunderstorms. Um, Mixed layer cape, well, this is going back. Let's go back a little bit. Sorry, guys. Still not that impressive with cape values, but I think these are probably going to be sufficient given the overall, yeah, really increasing, especially in this area right here, um, Saturday evening, and then kind of getting pinched off. All right, so I think primarily that's what's driving this severe threat for this area, and where they're not driving it, but where they're pointing it out here. So, um, by tomorrow, the more the short range models and convection allowing models will start coming into play here, and really be able to hone in on all the modes. And really the key is for tornadoes for down here is whether or not we get a surface flow um, in this area, and it doesn't have to be that strong, but enough to create some low level shear here, which would for tornado threat. I'm not saying we want tornadoes. I'm just explaining that that's how we would have a better tornado threat. And if a short wave moves through the flow here, like we depicted before the main push comes through, we could have some supercells develop. And going back to, um, let me go back to the radar depiction here. I'll go to the GFS because I think it can show me that. No. Frustrating. Oh, there it is. Composite reflectivity. It really almost appears to be a nighttime event, but yeah. I don't know. Guys, I think there may be still some uncertainty with this, but and it may be a little more conditional than normal, based on certain parameters. And we'll know more tomorrow. I know that's not what everybody wants to hear, but or later today. So if I see some different trends, I'll post about it. Okay. But you see in the southeast, the front kind of washes out. But you see up here in the northeast, we get reinvigoration of stuff with that low here. Okay. So let's go back and talk about excessive rainfall here for day one. We have that moisture moving up into the north here, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming. Day two, same area. Day three, we don't have any risk really. Whoa. Day. What the heck? All right. Well, the whole nation is in a marginal risk of excessive rainfall on day four. You better call the police about this one. That's first time I've seen that. All right. Well, that's funny. But sorry guys, that give me a give me a reason to laugh. I've never seen that. Oh, that's quite a surprise right there. Um, total rainfall amounts. Um, see, this doesn't match up either. I don't know why it does that, but you have. I have to tell the weather-wise people about that one. But um, nah, you got me off track here. But here's where the most rainfall expected today for 6 hours. All right, and moving through the general flow here, you can see where the most rain is expected in the different parts of the day. Uh, Day two, that low lifts to the north here. Yeah, that front starting to push to the south. You get a flow from the south here off the Gulf. Moisture picking up again into the Midwest, Ohio Valley, in Mississippi Valley. Okay. that moves further to the east. And day 3, which is Sunday, um, you can see where the most moisture moves to the south, right? So they're talking maybe half an inch or more, maybe. So not a heck of a lot of risk of flooding. And along the northwest coast, you have another system coming in. So whew, I'm going to take a screenshot of that real quick, if you permit me. All right. And so we're going to move on to the temps, okay, for the nation. I like this map because it's really kind of just gives the numbers for people, so you don't just have a general trend here. More like tells you what it's actually going to be. So ending today, highs in the 80s and 90s for good parts of the nation, except for the Intermountain West and the Northeast. You can see the cold front moving to the south here, although it's glitching out a little bit. Let me close this. Sometimes it does that. And I'll go to the national hazards next. It's not refreshing very well here. Must be because of the government shutdown. That's on another subject. But see where the warmest temps are, right? Um, wish it wouldn't glitch out like this. It's not good, but you see what's happening here. Cooler temps moving to the south here with that cold front. Sunday, warm temps are relegated to the southern tier of the U.S. Warming up again for the Midwest and cooling off again. Another system moves through. Minimum temps. Got some glitchy stuff going on here. Sorry, guys. You see the general blues and greens are cooler, and warmer temps are in the oranges and yellows. Got all kind of problems today, but general theme is cooling off at night for the good portion of the nation, right? Sorry for the glitchiness here. Um, Current hazards. There we go. We have freeze watch up here in the Northeast. Freeze warning. Some freeze watch and freeze warnings out west here. Dense fog advisory. High wind warnings. Um, Winter storm warning up here. It's interesting. And a flood warning right here. So not a lot of hazards going on. So we have a couple of break for a day or two, and then a day or so. Well, severe weather's going to kick in later today, but not a huge risk until Saturday, and we have that risk generally in that area. So that's all I got for today, guys. Hope you got a good laugh out of that, and have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.